In this video, we start by looking at how to set the location of the Merlin report within a blank worksheet. After creating a connection on the blank worksheet, we choose the cell that will be the top left-hand corner of the report range and type in the keyword MerlinXL in curly brackets. The rest of the report headers now relate to this corner cell. The row for the report column headers starts with the same row as the MerlinXL keyword, and the report row headers are entered in the same column as the MerlinXL corner keyword. And as I've done in this example, it can be helpful to shade the row and column header so that the boundary of the report is clear. To start building the report, we enter member labels from the HFM metadata in the report row and column header cells, and then select the Refresh Worksheet button to bring in the data. So by using the MerlinXL keyword, you can set the location of the report range within your worksheet, and you're no longer limited to having your report start at cell A1. In a different training video, we cover how you can use the MerlinXL corner keyword to set up multiple retrieval ranges on the same worksheet. But first we'll look in more detail at the descriptions keywords and multiple dimensions. We've seen in an earlier video that you can type in the keyword descriptions in the row header, or you can right-click on a report header cell and select the Edit Header option, which displays the form from which you can select one of the available keywords. Let's have a look at how we can bring in the member label and descriptions of the background point of view members. By typing equals followed by the dimension name, such as entity, we display the entity label of the background point of view, and by entering the formula equals entity underscore DESC, we can display the description of the entity member of the background point of view. Displaying the background point of view is useful particularly if you want to print the reports. Using the Excel formulas, you can display the member labels and descriptions in practically any cell in the worksheet. Entering equals year displays the year in the background point of view, and if we change the background point of view using the POV panel, in this case selecting one of the years we've marked as a favourite, we can see that the formula to display the year and the data updates when the background point of view is updated. When designing your reports, it's perhaps important to remember that a dimension is either in the background point of view or it is specified in the row or column headers. For example, in this report, the year is currently taken from the background point of view, but once it becomes specified as part of the row or column header, for the intersecting cells, the background point of view for the year member is now irrelevant, because for the intersecting cells, the dimensions specified in the row and column headers take precedence over the background point of view. If we add a third dimension to the column, it must be in a cell that is adjacent to an existing member label, and then selecting the Refresh Worksheet button adds the member description to the description cell. If we want to break out the description cell into multiple rows, we can add another description cell, or simply copy the existing one. So now we have two rows for the descriptions of the column headers. So when refreshing the report, the description of the first dimension in the columns is placed in the first descriptions row, and the remaining descriptions are placed in the second descriptions row. Adding a third descriptions row allows us to spread out the member descriptions further. So by using multiple descriptions keywords, you can choose how you wish to present the member labels in your report. For either the column headers or the row headers. When specifying the row and column headers, you can either type in the member labels in adjacent cells, or you can right-click on a header cell and select the Edit Header option. and any point of view in the current header will be displayed in the Edit Header form. Use the arrow buttons to move to the next row or column header, and then pick the dimension members to form the point of view for the new report row or column. You can specify several dimension members, but ideally it is best to specify the fewest number of dimension members as possible, as any dimension members not explicitly included in the row or column headers are taken from the background point of view. The plus button will insert a new row or column into the report, and the update button will add the existing point of view and refresh the report with data. This video looked at how you can add multiple dimension member labels to the rows and columns of your report, and how to include multiple descriptions using the descriptions keyword.